Ever been watching an anime and just lost your mind when a character makes that absolutely stunning entrance? But let me tell you, it gets even better when the whole crew rolls up with such swagger that you can't help but sit up and take notice. So today at Viniitube, we're going to take a look at the most badass group entrances in anime. Let's talk about the absolutely epic moment in Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld, when Klein and the rest of the SAO gang make their heroic entrance to the underworld to save Asuna. When I say they make an entrance, they make an entrance. The moment you see their avatars materializing in the underworld, you know things are about to turn around. It was such a nostalgia bomb. Seeing these players from earlier arcs come together in this critical moment is a reminder of how far they've come and how much they've grown.
大丈夫、勝てるよ。みんななら絶対に勝てる。あれは第1級得意点シンドバッド。バラロークサイカー。
Moving on, we have a real showstopper entrance from the anime Magi. Aladdin and the gang are in serious trouble, but out of nowhere, Sinbad makes his grand entrance and it's absolutely epic. This guy doesn't just roll in like a regular hero, he announces himself with a freaking lightning strike that hits the medium square, causing this jaw-dropping explosion. But wait, it gets better. Sinbad doesn't roll solo. Oh no, he brings the entire Metal Vessel squad from the Seven Seas Alliance along with him. They show up like a synchronized powerhouse team, ready to take names and wreck shops. Alright, let's talk about one of the most hype-filled entrances in anime history. Team Daiguren's arrival against the anti-spirals to save Nia in Gurren Lagann. Seriously, if you're not fist-pumping by the end of this scene, are you even watching the same show? I've lost count of how many times I've tried to watch this, and it still gives me goosebumps every single time. It's unreal. This scene is peak Gurren Lagann, perfectly showing off its upbeat, never give up message. Everything works together so well. Animation, music, speeches, references, even the sound effects. It's all in perfect sync to create an epic, unforgettable moment. And let's not forget the music. When Labirami from Hell kicks in, the combination of rap, opera, and orchestral beats is just insane. It's the ultimate battle anthem, perfectly capturing the energy of the moment and sending chills down your spine. The speeches, they're gold. You're ready to jump in the screen and just join the fight yourself. Moving on, we have this big entrance in Akame ga Kill. Yes, I'm talking about the big bad guys, the Night Raid, except they're not the real bad guys. You see, Tatsumi, our clueless country boy protagonist, ends up in the capital thinking he's about to make it big. Spoiler alert, he's not. Things go sideways fast, and just when it seems like he's stuck in a seriously twisted situation, in swoops Night Raid, and they don't hold back. This crew shows up, tears through the bad guys like it's nothing, and makes sure everyone knows exactly who they are. are. What makes their entrance so good is how it perfectly sets the tone for the series. They're assassins with a cause, and they don't care who they have to cut down to expose the corruption of the capital. The cherry on top, Tatsumi's reaction. He's like, wait, are these the good guys? And honestly, same. And of course, I couldn't just leave out the Pillarmen entrance from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure from this list. It was an absolute must-have. It's a whole different level of badass. First, you've got their unbelievably menacing vibe. Those poor soldiers who went there faced the most horrible death ever. These Pillarmen are creatures who've been asleep for millennia, and the second they wake up, they're ready to throw down. The calm before the storm, gone. The world's about to get flipped upside down, and these guys are the storm. And let's not forget about the theme song. If there was ever a theme that perfectly matched a group of villains, then this one is it.
目覚めたまえ我が主たちよ
大神官様第11宇宙揃いましたですますよ
ではこの木はなんだあの連中
なあおめえ
消えろ
いつの間に
Remember Universe 11's entrance at the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super? Now that's one for the books. When Universe 11 steps onto the scene, you know something major is about to go down. First off, we get a sneak peek at their lineup. Toppo, Dispo, and of course, Jiren. And if you didn't already know that Universe 11 isn't to be messed with, you definitely do know now. But what makes this entrance even more intense is the contrast between Universe 11 and the other universes. While everyone else is coming in with their usual bravado or cocky remarks, Universe 11 is all business. Their entrance isn't flashy, it's straight to the point. They're here to win, and they're not playing around. The sheer power radiating from their team makes the other fighters realize, oh, this is going to be a lot harder than we thought. As the camera pans over their team, you can feel the weight of the situation. If Universe 11 was a band, they'd be the headliners, and everyone else, they'd just be the opening acts.
そして第11宇宙
どいつもこいつもとんでもない奴らばかりだぜ
貴様は悪だいや思った通り勝手なことやってくれてんじゃねえの返してもらうぜ
Now let's talk about that moment when Yami and the Black Bulls show up to save Asta and Nero from their execution in Black Clover. You see, Asta and Nero are literally about to be executed after getting caught in a whole mess of political drama. Things are looking pretty bleak, right? I mean, this is the kind of situation where it feels like there's no coming back from it. But then, our Black Bulls arrive with a bang. Literally. They're accompanied by Yami, and trust me, we're all there with him knowing very well that the moment he steps in, it's game over for anyone standing in their way. What's great about this moment is that it's not just about Yami. The whole crew comes in clutch. You've got the likes of Luck, Finral, and the rest each playing their part in their usual chaotic badass way. The Black Bulls really give off the same friendship vibes as the Straw Hat Pirates, and I'm living for it.
そして霧島君の効果で壁をぶち抜く開けた瞬間すぐさま轟君の氷結で道を形成してほしいなるべく高く飛べるようきっと
The The time when Midoriya and the gang swooped in to save Bakugo during the My Hero Academia Rescue Bakugo arc? Talk about a heart-pounding moment. So here's the thing, Bakugo is being captured by the League of Villains and the whole class, well, most of the heroes in training anyway, is in full-blown panic mode. I mean, Bakugo might be a hothead, but he's still their teammate and no one's about to leave him hanging. So Midoriya, Ida and Kirishima make their badass entrance against the villains and successfully rescue Bakugo. Now, let's talk about Midoriya's high IQ moment during this part. It's honestly impressive how he handles everything. Even though this isn't a real mission with the pros, the way Midoriya and the others operate, they're already acting like seasoned heroes. The whole group is firing on all cylinders, with Midoriya's leadership pulling it all together.
反発破局四人へ砲
大胆マウントレディ救出優先一点バカガキあれなんだろう
The Alliance's arrival at Fort Salta in Attack on Titan. What a moment. You've got this intense build-up as the Alliance shows up, ready to stop Eren from whatever crap he's pulling like the Ultimate Squad. There's this moment of pure badassery when the whole gang arrives in their military gear, looking all organized and determined, ready to get the job done. In this epic moment, the character arcs are reaching their peak. Armin, once too hesitant to act, is now calling the shots and leading the charge. Mikasa is standing strong on her own, determined to stop Eren. Reiner finally embraces his role as a hero, while Levi is driven by Erwin's last command to take down the Beast Titan. The Scout Regiment, now the only force standing between humanity and the Titans, is ready to fight for survival. I think this is the first time I've rewatched an anime scene this much. Everything about it is just so epic. The animation, the music, and how they all come together so perfectly.
ありがとう。みんなの力がなければ地ならしは止められなかった。さよなら、エレン。
お願いナルト
Let's talk about one of the most epic entrances in anime history, Naruto rolling in with the Toads. Naruto has always been about beating the odds, proving that even if the world looks down on you, you can still rise up and become a hero with some grit, a touch of talent, and a whole lot of determination. And nothing screams Naruto's journey louder than that moment when he returns as Konoha's savior, making an entrance that's straight up legendary. The iconic pose? Ooh, chills. Fans everywhere felt the hype when Naruto showed up, ready to take on pain. Love it or hate it, Naruto knows how to deliver those goosebump-inducing, game-changing moments, and this one's right at the top of the list. When you saw him standing tall with the Toads, you just knew things were about to get real. And while the fight that follows is next level amazing, that's a story for another day, you know. For now, let's just appreciate the sheer power of that unforgettable entrance.
あるのは
俺だろ
So, you know how much I love anime, right? I mean, my entire career revolves around it. But you know what I enjoy just as much? Collecting some crazy merch from my favorite shows. I was just thinking of adding another epic figurine to my collection when our sponsor today popped up like a blessing in disguise. Let me introduce you to the Anime Merch. These guys have an insane collection of figurines, LED lamps, and light boxes. While browsing, I found an awesome figurine of Luffy for myself. Whether you're a die-hard fan of Naruto, Bleach, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, or Chainsaw Man, they have got it all. Imagine having iconic moments from Bleach displayed in stunning shadow light boxes, or your favorite Naruto characters glowing in custom LED lamps. This isn't just merch, it's a way to bring your favorite characters to life. Their high quality figures and collectibles are designed for hardcore fans who want only the best. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the Anime Merch is something for everyone. And guess what? Just for my viewers, there's a special offer. Use the code VINI to get 10% off your first order. So what are you waiting for? for. Head over to theanimemerch.com right now and bring the world of anime straight to your home. Don't forget to check the link in the description and grab those epic deals. Ah yes, the legendary showdown between Thoman and Mobius in Tokyo Revengers. What a moment. Hanma was feeling real cocky, standing there with 100 Mobius members at his back, thinking that he had the upper hand. After all, at the time, Thoman only had 4 guys in the fray: Mikey, Draken, Takemichi and Mitsuya. 4 against 100? Those odds sound crazy, unless you know who you're dealing with. As soon as we heard the engines roaring at a distance, that's when you just know things are about to pop off. And sure enough, the Thoman captains roll in with the entire gang right behind them. Now that's how you level the playing field. This scene turned me into a fangirl because the entire group looked so badass while entering. Every single member looked like they were ready to take on the world, and it was impossible not to get caught up in the hype. Now let's move on to that epic moment where we're introduced to the Furin boys in Windbreaker for the very first time. You see, Sakura's doing everything he can to hold his ground, standing tall and trying to shield Gotaha from those guys who clearly mean trouble. But thanks to the Furin boys, the day is saved. The moment they roll in, the vibe in the air completely shifts. You can tell by the look on the thugs' faces that they've realized they've made a huge mistake. The way they effortlessly crush the troublemakers is both satisfying and hilarious to watch. What makes this a badass group entrance isn't just the fighting skills, though they've definitely got those. It's the way they move as one unit, so perfectly in sync, with a level of trust and loyalty that makes you believe that these guys would go to the ends of the earth for each other. So yeah, their entrance, absolutely iconic and a prime example of why the Furin boys are such a force to be reckoned with.
それはもともと風林高校の名のもとに書かれていたけど、いつの間にか町の人たちが彼らに名前をつけたの。
何人も例外なく暴風林が粛清するな。唐倉町が危ねえんだぞ。このままここで待ってろってのか。
言ったろうが、2つ目の指令は唐倉町で皇帝13体全隊長格を戦闘可能にすることだ。
Next up, let's talk about one of the most iconic moments from the big 3 of shonen anime, the captains arriving to face Aizen in the fake Karakura town. Watching the full force of the captains assemble to take on their former comrade was absolutely legendary. Aizen rolled in with his army of Arrancar, and the battles that followed were some of the best in Bleach. But even with all these powerful captains, they needed backup in the form of the Vizards. Still, the captain's entrance alone was enough to make your jaw drop. Imagine all the big names from Soul Society showing up, ready to throw down. It's like the Avengers finally assembling, but with Zanpakuto, spiritual pressure, and way cooler outfits in the world of Bleach. The hype was real, and this entrance is one for the anime history books, and I'm not even exaggerating.
どうやら間に合ったようじゃの。
急祖様、これは
百鬼夜行。
Let's talk about an underrated shonen that deserves way more love. Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan. First off, how cool does Night Parade of 100 Demons sound? You go in expecting something terrifying, only to find out it's actually a bunch of party-loving yokai who know how to have a good time. When they're not throwing down. In Clan Wars, that is, you know. Think Yakuza, but with demons. One of the best moments when these party animals show up at the rat demons hideout to save Ghana and Yura. For the rats, it's less fun parade and more, oh no, we're doomed. It's a rare chance to see the Nura clan's serious side, and Rikuo steals the show, taking care of the rat demons like it's no big deal. It's one of those scenes that's both intense and oddly satisfying. Honestly, Nura is such a hidden gem. With 2 seasons, and yes, a cliffhanger ending, the journey is 100 100% worth it. I just wish more people would check it out. It's just way too good to fly under the radar. Now, do you remember that iconic moment when Shanks made his entrance at Marinefoot in One Piece? The Paramount War was the biggest and most intense battle the series had seen up until that point. The Marines were squaring off against Whitebeard and his entire crew, with Luffy in the mix too. Whitebeard, the Emperor of the Sea, was facing off against the full might of the Marines, including their admirals and the warlords of the sea. The war was full of epic moments, but things turned grim when Whitebeard and Ace met their tragic end. Just when it seemed like chaos would consume everything, Shanks makes his entrance. The mere presence of an Emperor of the Sea was enough to stop the war dead in its tracks. Even the Marines, who'd been going full throttle against Whitebeard's crew, knew they had no chance against Shanks. Every fan remembers that dramatic entrance, and honestly, it's a moment we'll never forget.
これ以上欲しても両軍被害は無益に拡大する一方だ。まだ暴れ足りない奴がいるのなら来い、俺たちが相手をしてやる。
親方様、柱たちが集結。親方様の采配、見事。
Finally, we have this legendary moment when all the Hashiras came rushing down when they knew about Muzan's presence. I mean, this moment really broke the internet. The anticipation was just as off the charts as its detailed animation. I love how while everyone else paused to assess the situation and gear up for the battle when they laid eyes on Muzan, Tanjiro didn't hesitate for a second. He was laser focused, charging right to the end of the problem, Muzan himself. It's kind of hilarious how Muzan was all poised to fight the Hashiras, but the second he laid eyes on Tanjiro, he completely freaked out. It's like everything changed in an instant. The teamwork, the raw emotion, and the sheer intensity of the moment are enough to make any fan's heart race.
地獄に行くのはお前だ、無駄。絶対に逃がさない。
やってみろ。できるものならかまど炭治郎。
That's all for today. If you enjoyed watching this video, you should take a look at the best anime entrances of 2024. Alright, see you in the next one.